my little lady. Since I don't have a fancy intro for this one, I figured I'd use Annie Banani to get some extra likes and interaction at the front of my video. Is it working? Are you leaving a like? Are you hitting that red subscribe button? I mean, it's Annie's toy budget that, you know, her toys are expensive, and your subscriptions help give her new green springs, which she just took off my desk to the floor. Anyway, what's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and we've got a day full of amazing topics. We've got some hilarity around Star Wars. We've got some education lessons to laugh at. We've got all sorts of variety today for you. So, obviously, this is not new news to you that Gina Carano was fired. And I try to limit topics on this to one a day now, where I try to encapsulate everything. And now, what has happened is, after bending the knee to the mob once, they have been emboldened. And now they want Rosario Dawson out. And there's been a big push on Twitter to fire Rosario Dawson. Now, this isn't the first time that they've tried to do this, just like it wasn't the first time they've tried to get Gina Carano fired. Now, interestingly enough, or what makes this different, is Rosario Dawson is a strong woman of color, a progressive who is married to or dating, isn't she with Cory Booker? Like a Democratic, you know, heavy hitter. And so she's one of them, so to speak. But as we saw with Governor Spaghetti today, once your usefulness to the mob becomes diminished, then they will cancel you. You can see there's obviously a lot of stuff saying, you guys are going after Rosario Dawson, right? For something that was said long before The Mandalorian. Oof, hooray for double standards, hooray for hypocrisy. You can say, okay, now that Gina Carano is out, next up, Rosario Dawson. You got, hey, Disney Plus, why not fire Rosario Dawson too, just like you did Gina Carano? You know, and there's more and more and more of this kind of anti-Rosario Dawson push. And even there's an article that's already spun up here in a section about, in an article that was celebrating the firing of Gina Carano. It goes on to talk about the Ahsoka problem. This says here, though not currently a part of the Mandalorian reoccurring cast, Rosario Dawson is poised to star in her own Mandalorian spin-off series, simply entitled Ahsoka. However, Dawson and her family were recently sued by a trans man who claimed they purposely misgendered him and even other bad things. Though, now here's one of the most face-palmingest moments, right? Though everything against Rosario Dawson was dropped, the fandom is wary another Carano-like situation is lurking. These people are insane. Have you canceled Disney Plus yet? Remember, there's a lot of different ways you can enjoy programs if you still want to watch them. This is one of you. This is one of you. It bugs me that several other people and I think it would be good if they at least recast the actress, because she already makes so many people uncomfortable. Kennedy agreeing, I think the majority of Stan Twitter, myself included, are skeptical of her. We don't know if the charges on her are true or not. Whether or not the person who was making those claims dropped them. You see, Ahsoka Tano doesn't deserve to be played by a phobic. She deserves better. Fire Rosario Dawson like you did Gina Carano. Unlike Carano, Dawson has expressed horror at the claims against her and reiterated her support of trans voices. Actually, Gina Carano did do that. She spent a considerable section of her interview with Ben Shapiro doing that. Drawing the line in these matters is always difficult. But for now, Lucasfilm is somewhere between Carano's actions and Dawson's. For the most part, the community seems to be basking in the prospect of supporting The Mandalorian without the mental gymnastics required to justify the casting. Imagine being this much of a loser. Look, there are a lot of shows that I still enjoy, even though, maybe there's a producer or their director is a lunatic. All right? I'm not going to let that ruin something. It may change my opinion on if I want to pay for something or not, but I'm not going to let it, because life is so short. Imagine being one of these people. Like, look, and I get it that, like, sometimes we fall into the same trap where, like, oh my God, the actor or actress on the show is a show I like has now, I just recently discovered they're like a piece of garbage. Maybe Chris Evans would be an example of that, or Mark Ruffalo would be an example of that. That you really enjoy the Avenger films, but you also really hate hollow virtue signaling vapid losers. I would say just enjoy it. If you enjoy Marvel movies, enjoy them. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't be like these losers where it literally like drives their entire being. The article continues. I've heard a lot of marginalized communities who stopped watching the show because it made them uncomfortable, incapable of separating the actress and the character, Reggie says. Now that she's gone, people can be free to watch it without feeling absolutely awful about themselves or their identity. These people, you want to talk about incredible privilege. You are on a pay TV service, by the way. You pay for high-speed internet. You pay to consume Disney Plus. You have an $800 iPhone that you use Twitter on. And you're talking about how this is so difficult for you to watch a television show with an actor in it whose political opinions you don't like. I don't like Chris Evans, but I still like Captain America. It's such a bizarre world. And it's also one, by the way, devoid of truth. This is all, I mean, anybody with 5 seconds to do any kind of research. You see, Rosario Dawson responds to these claims. In an interview with Vanity Fair published Monday, Dawson, 41, man, she's 41, responded to questions about a suit filed against her last year. I just want to state that I understand and why people were concerned. And we're concerned. I would be too if I heard some of these claims. But I mean, as we're seeing right now in these past months and just recently, actually the truth is coming out. Every single claim of discrimination has been dismissed, not by a judge, but by the person who made them. When pressed about the 2 remaining claims, she said that she stood steadfast in denying that as well. Like, I don't understand, I should say this. I understand that, this community has trouble with their identity and they want to find others like themselves so they feel, more empowered. I understand that. And that makes sense. But, worrying about, actual issues that affect your community every day, as opposed to something you pay, $10 a month to consume. By the way, if you're in the trans community and you're worried about Rosario Dawson on The Mandalorian, what do you think that they would do to trans folks in China? If you're worried about a single casting of a role, maybe you should, I know it's inconvenient for you to look at a bigger picture, but maybe stop supporting Disney because they are willing to bend the knee at all turns to please the CCP. And there is no doubt in my mind that they would cut or miniaturize or remove a trans character from any type of major role to appease the Chinese market. I don't think that you need any more examples. We already know what they did to John Boyega. We know what they do, that they support the actress from Mulan, who is an anti-democratic Chinese shill. We know that they removed the Taiwan flag from Maverick's coat. We know that they thanked the Chinese government, the arm of which is responsible for spinning propaganda about their literal camps where they keep and re-educate Uyghur Muslims and sterilize their women. These are like real problems, all right? If you want to get on about how something is really difficult for you to consume because of the things that the characters may have allegedly said, by the way, they didn't say or didn't do, you are the picture of privilege. If this is what you're upset about, you are the picture of privilege. And also, a lot of people, you used to say like, oh, well, this is a vocal minority. They don't have a lot of power. Bull. They do. They have a ton of power. 2,000 to 3,000 Twitter accounts can spam fire Gina Carano and it's successful. The exact same thing can be done for Rosario Dawson. Now, I don't love her politics, but again, being consistent in your own principles means I didn't like Gina Carano being canceled by Twitter losers, and I won't stand for Rosario Dawson being removed either. I thought in the brief moment where we saw her as Ahsoka was a great moment. Maybe just, dial it back a little bit and understand that life is pretty good if this is what you're worried about. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.